The next prompt is Magnolia. Pink magnolia on the tree, it holds hope within the petals. One of the first flowers to bloom in spring, blooming in unpleasant circumstances. There's a resilience in rising up with hope to show up as ourselves. Magnolia flower represents this to me, that within the heart of the magnolia is hope. Within our hearts are hope. Hope that rises up as we show up to our lives as ourselves, not as what's expected, but as our best self. And that takes courage. And so when I see magnolia, I'm reminded of the challenges, the struggles, the hang-ups, the things that prevent us from showing up as ourselves. But yet we show up. And sometimes it's courage that we step into. Just like the magnolia blooming on the tree after the rain. And so I picked this prompt. Something about the pink magnolia, it reminds me of the lotus flower in the water, except this flower is in the sky. I usually see white ones, but when I see pink ones, there's something endearing about it. And so I chose this flower as a prompt to express this hope in the heart as we show up and rise up in the courageousness to be ourselves. Often we walk, we behave, we're within the politeness, fulfilling other expectations. Sometimes we just want to show up as ourselves, and that takes courage. And that's called for now. So I also extend this invitation to you. Just like the magnolia holds in its heart hope and rises up to bloom, you also are hope. And when you rise up and show up as yourself, you're spreading that hope to others. Just by showing up and smiling, unknowingly you're making a difference. Instead of going back to sleep and lounging throughout the day and hiding out and not showing up. You have a choice every day to show up or to not. And the days you show up, it matters. Why did I pick this as the palette story? I see white magnolias everywhere. I hardly see pink ones. When I was small, I thought this was a magical flower because I would see pink magnolias would be on every religious holy book, Buddhism, spirituality, all kinds of places, and it would be pink magnolia against the blue turquoise sky, and I thought it was a fantasy, maybe it's a lotus, I don't know. And you know kids, they're silly, but the symbolism stayed with me. Now as an adult, I know what a magnolia flower is, but when I see pink ones, it's very rare. And just like that, hope in challenge is rare. And there is a famous song by a man who's from a country that is at the border of war. And his inspiration was, if I could be at peace in the heart of a magnolia, that beauty, reminds me of the beauty of my motherland. I may be paraphrasing this, but when I read that and I heard the song, even though I don't understand the language, I felt so much love in a time where there was deep challenge, deep mystery. And I was thinking how your heart cracks open, seeing beauty, hearing beauty, and reading beautiful words of inspiration. And so I thought I would share this as a palette story because Pink Magnolia is just a bookmark. And also, this is prompt 50 of 100, so we're halfway. I'm halfway with spilling my guts, halfway of spilling depth in the public, or whoever's listening, or maybe no one's listening. Anyway, this is a time capsule of a moment. Even my future self will be listening to this and reminiscing, and so, yeah. Pink Magnolia, the blooms, they disappear, and while they're present, they're beautiful. And when they've disappeared, I remember their beauty, much like the sky full of stars. And the sky full of stars, I look up and I think of ancestors who are no longer with me. And maybe they're among the stars. And I look up, see that beauty in the depth of darkness. And just like the memory of the magnolia flowers is the memory of all the wonderful inspirations of our lives that once walked the earth and are no longer here. And so I look up in wonder in the night sky. And that art is from all this, the process. I think there's another video of the art process and so many sketches and so many different ways of sketching. And that's Magnolia.